One round in to this week's Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, and this is where we stand. Stockton has 40, Warren has 20. We'll get to some more questions here in our volleyball round, but first, a very special thank you to Henrietta Dotson-Williams, Rockford Library Board of Trustee member, but also our hosts here all season long because, of course, the Nordloff Center is a Rockford Public Library property. Henrietta, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for letting us share this stage for, 7 months or so here at the Nordloff. Now on to the questioning. Our volleyball round is a back and forth round, and you can confer, contestants. I will give your team a question. If you get it correct, you get 10 points. If not, we toss it, and the other team gets a brand new question. I do need to hear from the captains, though, after the conferring is all done for that final answer. And because of a coin flip in the last break, Stockton's elected to go first in our next round, which means our first volleyball question will go to Warren. Garrett, are you and the team ready? Here is your first volleyball question. What dictator was deposed by Victor Emmanuel III, advocated Spazio Vitale, was known as Il Duce, and led the Italian Fascist Party in World War II?
Mussolini.
Mussolini is correct. Seems like you knew that one pretty quickly, you and your teammates, and that's 10 points. You now have 30. Stockton, for you now. Edward Ferrars proposes to both Lucy Steele and Eleanor Dashwood in which Jane Austen novel? Time is up for that one. Sense and Sensibility was the novel. No points, and here's a new question for Warren. In 2018, the Democratic Republic of the Congo had its 9th outbreak of what disease that reached the U.S. in 2014 and causes lethal hemorrhaging?
Ebola.
Ebola is correct. You want to read a scary book about Ebola? Read The Hot Zone. That one was worth 10 points to you. And now we have a new question for Stockton. On what day in March do math enthusiasts celebrate Pi Day?
The 14th.
That's right. 3.14, 3/14. That was worth 10 points for you. Stockton, you now have 50. The Exner scoring system was developed to interpret what test named for a Swiss psychologist which examines patients' perceptions of ink blots? Also a character in the Watchmen comic series, Rorschach. Those are Rorschach tests. No points. Here's a new question now for Stockton. The graph of y equals the square root of x is half of what conic section? Half of a parabola. Y equals root of x, half of a parabola. No points. Warren, you could tie the game with this question. What fundamental constant, which in 2019 will be redefined in terms of a sphere of silicon, equals about 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles and defines the mole? That constant is Avogadro's number. And there's no points on that question. Here's a new one now for you, Stockton. What term, meaning the way of warriors, refers to the code of honor followed by the samurai? Bushido is the code of honor. Here's a new question for you, Warren. What artist included the songs Violent Crimes and Yikes on a 2018 album that has a cover reading, I hate being bipolar, it's awesome, and is titled Yay?
Kanye West.
Mr. Kim Kardashian, that's correct. Kanye West, you've got 10 points. That brings you up to 50. It's a tie game, and that's all the time we have for in this round. Halfway through, and it doesn't get any closer than this. 50-50 between Warren and Stockton. We'll take a break and finish up the second half of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl after you get a chance to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be back with that answer in just a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm John Rosanis. This week's bonus question is, on December 30th, 1988, President Ronald Reagan and President-elect George Bush were subpoenaed to testify in the trial of what former White House aide?